To Powerful Plays. Okay, I noticed the last few videos I made on Griftlands, the audio wasn't very clear, but I've done a bit of so-called remapping now, and I think the audio is a bit clearer. Okay, so unlike the other two where I just play through and you don't know what the hell is going on, I'm going to be walking you through a very quick walkthrough on Griftlands. I'll show you what's it about, why I like it so much, a bit of the gameplay, as well as quick run through of the first few parts. Okay, so Griftlands is a new roguelike deck builder that's up on the Steam store. So if you played Slay the Spire or Monster Train before, this is exactly like that, a build with a few new upgrades and bells and whistles. So I'll walk you through that. So a roguelike deck builder is a turn-based game where you start off with a deck of cards, and throughout the game you will be upgrading these cards, leveling up these cards, adding new cards to your deck, and playing through battling enemies. Okay, and if you lose the game, you will restart again. I'll be with a bit of advantage for the next run. Okay, so in Griftlands, you play over 4 days. Now, I haven't finished the 4 days, so I don't know how the ending is like. But I have played through it a few times, and you do upgrade your decks along the way. Okay, I'm going to start a new game with this character called Rook, which is my second character that I've unlocked. You start off with Sal, and later on in the game, you'll be able to unlock Rook. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this, and it tells me that I've got one number of times I've been killed in this run, so it's quite interesting. So you can actually go through, in each time you're killed, you get extra bonuses. Okay, so unlike other traditional deck builders, you actually have two decks in this case. You have a battle deck and you have a negotiation deck. The cards inside are very different, of course. In a battle deck, you're trying to kill your enemy. In a negotiation deck, however, you're trying to convince them or intimidate them in certain ways. Now, the gameplay for both are the same. Okay, so you have cards that will attack your enemy's health in battle decks, and you have cards that will attack your enemy's resolve in negotiation decks. Okay, just that it's a very cool narrative way of saying you have two different decks, and the narrative in this game is just freaking awesome lah. So I'm going to show you a bit of how that is. So the advantage that this has over Slay the Spire or Monster Train is the story, and the story is very well animated. You can see it's animated right now, very well told. The options are very clear. You feel a very um, strong connection to all the characters involved. Okay, I played through this many times, so I'm just going to skip the story. You can of course read it when you buy the game. Where I say when, not if, because it's a great game that you should and must buy if you like roguelike deck builders. So everything starts off with a story, and throughout the game, you'll be presented with choices like you see here. Each choice will tell you what happens, give him 20 shields, and you can go through unharmed, or you can go through a battle. So the purple highlight tells you that it's a negotiation battle, so you have to battle with your negotiation deck, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so every character starts off with a 11 card deck, out of which you draw 5 cards. Every turn you have 3 actions. The action cost for the card is on the upper left hand side here. Okay, so all my cards in my hand now cost 1 action to play. So there's 3 actions. I can play up to 3 cards in this case, and then I'll discard the rest. Next turn I'll draw back up to 5. That's the standard definition of a deck builder. You start with a basic set of cards. You have a limited actions in which to play those cards, and throughout the game you get more cards added to your deck, you get upgrades to existing cards, so on and so forth. Okay, so in the negotiation battle, we're trying to get the enemy's resolve, which is this life total here, down to 0, and how you do that is by playing cards that will attack their resolve. Okay, so you'll see that I start with 36, he starts with 14, so I'm trying to get him down to 0. Okay, the special thing about Rook, unlike the other characters, is that he starts off with a coin. So he has this ability to flip the coin, and it can end up heads or it can end up snails. Okay, so this you of course you can upgrade your coin along the way as well. That does a lot more different funky things. But the starter coin, whenever it's flipped, it becomes a hit. You get 1 composure. Composure is like armor. Okay, so this is composure. It blocks the amount of damage that comes in before it touches your health. And then it comes up snails, you deal 1 random damage. 1 damage to a random argument. So they've got the main argument, which is what you need to reduce to 0, and then around the border here, he'll be playing small arguments, which you need to, it sort of like gives you debuffs or buff him, and then you need to reduce that to 0 if you don't want him to get buffed or you to get extra debuffed. So you will also have a number of arguments around your area, and that will add on to your buffs, for example. Okay? So cards in hand, of course, have a different ability based on what side of the coin is on. So like this one now, if it's hits, which it is now, I get mixed damage. So I'm just going to play that. Pleasantries for you, sir. I could do him 1 to 3 more damage, but I've got 4 incoming, and he's got a special ability that at the start of his turn he steals 1 card from me for the rest of this match. So I'm just going to put 2 more composure here, and I can't play anymore. I have my turn. He gets his turn, and he steals my card. Okay, so this inner circle here tells you what he's going to be playing against me, so you can sort of plan. You know that he's going to deal 4 damage to me, but you don't know what else is he going to do. These 2 question marks. Last turn he did the same thing, he dealt 4 damage and he applied all business. So he gains 1 composure for every hostility card that I draw. I drew 1 hostility card. This is hostility. It's a like, I don't like you. And this is like nice cards, I guess. The purple ones. So he gets 1, and this one is, when this argument is destroyed, all cards are returned to Rook's hand. Oh, very good. So he returns all the cards that he took. But I get 2 vulnerability, which increases the damage I take by 2. That's fine. I don't need that. What I do need now is to improvise a card. Okay. Flustered. Reduce damage by 33%. Remove one's stack. That's not. Next turn 1. Yeah, I'll just get 3 armor this turn. Flip coin. Let's hope it snails. Yep, that allows me to deal. Because this one deals 1 extra damage. And I'll end my turn, holding on to my coin because sticky allows me to keep it from turn to turn. It's okay, steals that, gives me vulnerability. Now I'm going to flip the coin, hope it hits. Nope. But I think that's enough. Nope, even if not, I will just pleasantries him over. Yep, so at the end of the battle, for negotiation battle, the reward is not as much as a normal battle. You get to pick one of the cards to add to your deck. Or you get to upgrade cards. How you upgrade cards? If you look at cards, there's this little bar beneath the name. This is the experience for each card. Whenever you play a card, you gain experience in that card. Once the bar fills up, you'll be able to upgrade the card. Okay, I'm going to speed through this just to show you the combat side of the game. What's this? Draft 2 negotiation card. Oh, that's not too bad, but I'm just gonna get more health. Okay, this is the main map. So whenever you're exploring the main map, there'll be little icons that appear. Click on them, they'll trigger a story event. Sometimes when you're walking from event to event, you pop up a random encounter which will give you more cards, increase your health, or hurt you in some way. Okay, I'm just going to try and get the battle quest and show you how battling works. So let's talk to her. The story is very good. I mean, I wouldn't go through the story now, but once you buy the game, take your time to read through the story. The voice acting is I guess the good thing is that there's never been a game with, there has been very few games with very good voice acting, so they've opted to go the gibberish way, which works in this game. Okay, I'm gonna go battle and negotiation, grist for the mill. I'm just gonna go straight here and just show you. The quests are different from game to game, so it's not like a standard quest. For once, I don't think I've actually seen this quest before. It always gives me a different quest every time. So replayability is top notch because you don't get the same quest every time. Even though the characters are the same, the options are different, your deck is different, your upgrade paths are different. Okay, let's beat him up. Of course, you can also threaten him and do an intimidation, but I'm just going to beat him up. And every action you sort of get a little reaction of how the other person is going to be dealing to you. Okay, so combat works same way as negotiation. You're trying to get his health down to 0. He has buffs, so let's see what this buff is. I've been told to keep this target alive. I'll explain this in a minute. We'll stop fighting only if throws are left. Okay, and immune to bleed and wound damage. Okay, so what this means is, of course, you win if you deal his life down to 0, but he also has a panic meter, which is 41 in this case, which means that after he's taken 41 damage, he will go into panic mode. When he goes into panic mode, you then have an option to finish him off with one shot or let him survive. So in this case, we are supposed to let him survive. So let's just deal him extra damage and a bit more extra damage. I'm just gonna giving him damage. So Rook special, unlike the other characters, he has this thing called charges. Every turn his charge increased by 1, and at the end of the turn, he gets +1 defense per empty charge. So actually that's quite a good thing. So I'm just gonna continue beating on this guy, and beating on this guy, and beat a bit more. Yeah, it's pretty easy because it's the first fight. I've died in later fights before. Gotta get a charge, so that increases my defense a bit. That's fine. Okay. There. This would be enough. Okay, see? So now he has the option to surrender. So I can accept my surrender, or I can kill the surrender target. In this case, because we are told to keep him alive, I'll accept the surrender. Okay, and battle victories usually have more rewards. Oh, that's actually quite good. Okay, I'm just going to not attack because I need to. Alright, so that's Griftlands in a nutshell. You go around completing missions for people, getting rewards, buying more cards, upgrading your cards, building up your deck. Until the day is over. You can tell when the day is over because it'll be dark and there's only one option for you to end the day in a specific place. In Rook's case, because he's a double-sided agent, he needs to choose whether he wants to give info to his other side or the other side or something like that. So it's a bit of a story element involved as well. 4 days and the game ends. I've never played 4 days. I've always died at day 2 or day 3, so it is not an easy game. But yeah, it still keeps me coming back for more. Alright, so that's Griftlands in a nutshell. You unlock different things every time you run, which is a very, very good way to build up replayability for the game. There are also graphs, which I didn't go into. Graphs are sort of like permanent effects that you can have on your character, and these are passive effects that will give you certain benefits and will bring over from game to game. Certain graphs will carry over from game to game. Right. Do I like this game? Yes, I really, really like this game. And if you like Slay the Spire, if you like Monster Train, if you like roguelike deck builders, turn-based deck builders, definitely 100% get this game. It is an awesome game. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed this short little walkthrough. Please leave me a like, subscribe, comment below on anything that you might want to see upcoming on my channel. Or if you want to find out more about this game or add me, into your friend list, that's fine. Just leave a comment below. Like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you next time.